Hey, real estate agents, let's talk about something that is on all of our minds. November 2023 could possibly have changed the landscape of our businesses in regards to all of these lawsuits regarding buyers agents commissions and sellers paying them. And guys, I don't want to take any stances today on what I believe is going to happen in the future or if what happened in the past was correct or incorrect. Today, I just want to give you 4 tips that I really want you to hear, take home with you so that you can be successful in this market today, regardless of what happens in our industry regarding buyers agency commissions. The first thing I want to tell you to do is that moving forward with all your buyer clients, you need to explain to them that prior to November, this is how I did business as a buyer's agent, and moving forward now and into the future, this is how I'm going to do business as a buyer's agent. For example, you could say, hey, in the past, prior to all these lawsuits, whether or not you've heard them, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, in the past, I might have just shown you homes and I would have had an implied relationship with you that I was your agent. And if I wrote you an offer on a property, so long as my name was on that purchase agreement and I represented you and I was the procuring cause of that, I was going to be your buyer's agent and I would get compensated. Well, now moving forward, we think it's a really good idea to structure buyer's exclusive agency contracts so that it really defines that I am your agent and I am working solely for your primary goals and what you're trying to achieve, and it does outline how I will be paid. And it does say that I will make X amount of money in this agreement. And if the sellers don't pay me that commission, then it could be on you. And so I just want, and that's been the standard in the past, but guys, we weren't doing that in the past. We weren't doing contracts. So from today and moving forward, because of this lawsuit, this is how we're doing our business today. And so you just start with explaining how it was done in the past and how you're going to do it in the future. The second thing I want you to know is that when you go into a listing presentation, it's very important that you ask a seller if they think it would be smart for them to offer a buyer's agency commission instead of telling them. So, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, do you think it would be smart or advantageous for you to offer a commission to the buyer's agent in order to get your home sold as quickly as possible and for top dollar? And then I think you need to ask them, like, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of offering a commission or not? And I want you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I want you to tell me, I'm going to write these things down. It's really important in our listing presentations to get their perspective on buyer's agency commissions instead of saying, hey, this is the commission that I charge, and this is what I recommend that you give a buyer's agent. You need to ask them if they believe if it's advantageous. Then you get the opportunity to explain that historically speaking, homes are going to sell a little bit better and a little bit quicker if we do incentivize a buyer's agent to work hard to get that deal done financially, right? So ask them first. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, prior to November, it was commonplace for buyer's agents to get paid by sellers. Now we really don't know if that's going to happen or not. So when you have a relationship with a buyer and you're starting that relationship, this is a really good thing to bring up. Hey, prior to November, we just knew that sellers were paying a commission, and that was commonplace. And now we actually don't know. Sellers may or may not pay a commission. We believe that most of them will, but they may not. And so we need to explain to our buyers that before we get started, that when there's not a commission, that we have to have an agreement put together that explains like how I'm going to be representing you in the transaction and how compensation will work in the event that the seller doesn't pay. And I'm going to do my darndest that if the seller's not offering a commission, to make sure that they do to me so that you're not financially on that hook. So that's number 3. Prior to November, this is how it worked all the time. Moving forward, we don't know if every seller is going to offer a commission. So we need to get an agreement put together that explains how I represent you in a transaction and how I would get paid if there's no seller involved, no seller commission involved. 4th thing and last thing, I would really just suggest that we make sure that we have an agency agreement signed, a buyer's agency agreement assigned prior to showing homes. Now guys, in our market here in Indianapolis, we haven't seen that much change, okay? But I do know what's interesting in coaching clients, agent clients around the country, is some of their states require that they have a buyer's exclusive agency agreement in order for the buyer to work with a buyer's agent. And in some states, some of the brokerages in states require that you have to have a buyer's agency agreement in order to get paid a commission or in order to represent that person. And the title companies and the attorneys require it. And guys, in Indiana, we have not. We have not required that. And folks, that might be on the horizon. So there's nothing wrong with getting good practice and knowing your value add as a buyer's agent and knowing the ins and outs of a buyer's exclusive agency contract and explaining how life worked before November and how life could work post-November. I hope you find those 4 tips helpful. Again, no statements on where we're going and what has changed in our market in Indianapolis, but just real good practices. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope you guys are great. Reach out anytime. We'll see you.